Hello and welcome to another edition of Droppin Baums with me, your host, Corey Baumeister. As always, with the lovely folks here at TCGplayer.com, bringing you the best in any trading card needs. So, we got a spicy one. We have a spicy one. This deck is insane. I will say this right now. I had so much fun playing this deck that I jumped right into another league right after I got done with the recording these videos. It is just so fun to play, and it's so good is the main thing. We played some 3 great matches. We played against Mono Blue round 1, which I thought would be kind of a horrendous matchup. You'll have to stay tuned to check that out. It was 3 very intense games. And then round 2 and 3, we played against the boogeyman of the format, Standard Golgari. And we'll see who comes out on top of that. I think we learned a lot in those matchups, so stay tuned for that. I think there is quite a few lessons to learn about the dynamics of this green-black versus the dynamics of the standard green-black that we're used to. I have the links below here for if you want to fast forward to any of the rounds. Also have the links for the deck tech at the end, along with the TCG article there where I have a short write-up. Thank you so much and enjoy the games. And welcome to the games here. All right, we're starting off on the draw, which, obviously is not great. And then we're starting off with an absolutely unplayable hand. So we're going to ship this back. Alright, this seems fine. Necrotic Wound is a card that definitely does not have value until later, but who knows? We might get a flyer if we're lucky here. We're gonna keep it regardless. The Immortal Sun. I think we're gonna bottom that. That just costs too much mana. Alright, let's do this. I've wanted to play this deck for a long time. I saw Gabriel Nassif play it in that Rivals Twitch tournament that they held there. It looked awesome, and yeah. Did you see that? I've been trying to glide it up based on MTG Arena. I've been playing a lot of that and absolutely loving it. Okay, opt. So we're either Jeskai, is it Drakes? Alright, maybe Mono Blue now. 2 islands. The deck where Harpooner could actually be live on turn 2, but we did not get such a thing. Now, this is tough. This is tough. I mean, our opponent could just have Essence Scatter. So here's an interesting spot. We can't really rule out anything right now because our opponent could still be Jeskai that has a very awkward draw. Could be blue-red, but I think that is the most unlikely because that deck benefits off playing your spells. So if our opponent had spells, they'd likely play it. The leading contender here is this is Mono Blue, and this is an Essence Scatter. With that being an Essence Scatter, I want to just pass the turn here. But the problem is if our opponent plays like a Tempest Djinn or something like that, we still can't kill it. But I don't think we want to feed into this counterspell at this moment. So I'm just going to pass. We might regret that later. This is a bit of a riskier line here. If we could for sure play something next turn, I probably would have just played Harpooner to get that Essence Scatter out of our opponent's hand. That not being the case, I think I am just going to play this. The problem is Harpooner is one of the best creatures against Mono Blue, but our hand is pretty well set up, and Necrotic Wound actually benefits from creatures being to our graveyard, so we're going to run it out this time. We're okay with a counterspell now, because we really want to try to stick Vraska Relic Seeker now, or Chupacabra, whatever their next play is. Okay, no legal targets. We'll be okay with that. Send it right back. So we clearly just made a huge mistake of not playing it last turn. But you know what? I think the amount of damage and the fact that an Essence Scatter would have blown us out so much that maybe it's worth it. But it really could have just been wrong. So our opponent chose to just play a 1-drop here. Unless they just top-decked it, it makes a lot more sense that our opponent still has a Wizard's Retort here. So I don't want to jam my best card. I think Stitcher Supplier is going to be my play, but first, of course, we're going to attack. Boom. Take 3. Okay. Stitcher Supplier here, which should enable our Necrotic Wounds to be live cards, which is huge right now. Even better if we had one of these forced as a swamp, but it doesn't matter too much. Okay, perfect. These are now -2, -2s. And I think we'll say go. Now I could very well see us having to fight over a Curious Obsession and losing that fight. We'll see if our opponent wants to play another one. Alright, now we have to give it a shot. This is probably going to be met with a dive down or something, but then that might leave us the doors open to play Vraska or Ravenous Chupacabra. Both great answers to this Herald here. Vraska being better because it stays into play, of course. And that's all considering that this doesn't resolve. Oh, okay, all right. Our opponent just had a very, very heavy Curious Obsession creature hand, maybe, or maybe lack of creature. Regardless, that was great for us. So now, our opponent cannot Wizard's Retort here, and they most of the time don't play Negate, but they do play Essence Scatter. So, very high chance this would get countered, but I think Vraska is gonna be safe here. So, we're gonna start by attacking. But unless our opponent plays Syncopate or Negate, which are two things that are not very popular right now in the mono blue decks, I think this Vraska is going to stick and inevitably win the game. Oh, Spell Pierce, of course. Yep. Yep, that was an option. That was an option. But our opponent has one card in hand now. I'm not too worried anymore. That's okay. The problem is this deck really cannot come from behind when it comes to, like, blocking. The deck just cannot block. I mean, at all. Alright. Very evasive creatures tend to not be the best at controlling a board. Okay, so, now one card. All of our options are good here. We're looking good regardless, but here's where you want to not give away those extra percentage points. Like, our opponent's probably less than 1% to win this game, but we could make a play that could give them 3% to win. You know, I mean, things like this that you really want to avoid. I don't see a reason for Chupacabra. Well, that's a lie. Okay. I think I am going to play Chupacabra. I'm going to target this just because then if our opponent does have a Curious Obsession, they don't already have an answer on board to it. So we will try a Chupacabra and then have Necrotic Wound just in case they Curious Obsession. That's really the only way we can lose is if they have a Curious Obsession and it chains into a bunch of cards. Okay. I would likely expect just a concession on this turn. Mono Blue is a bit popular since Caleb just destroyed that Rivals tournament with it. The deck's good, but it has very polarizing matchups. It's either amazing or it's absolutely horrendous. And I can't say I know exactly what these matchups are all about. I know we're going to attack a lot. And I know there's nothing to punish us from overextending, so we're just going to play them all. Creatures in the graveyard. Nope. The only time I think we want to bring back a land is bringing back a Memorial. So, I think we'll just play that. We'll say go. Looks like we got all the goods in the graveyard. Alright, game 2. Alrighty. The sideboard is quite a variety of cards. I mean, whenever I play Mono Blue, my normal #1 strategy is attempt to kill everything. And that's what we're going to try to do. Contempts, Soot, Golden Demise, Rex Sage kills, Curious Obsession. Necrotic Wound is one thing I'm not positive on, but it's probably good enough. Cast Down, Assassin's Trophy. Maybe even these are good enough. Cards that are bad are expensive stuff. Immortal Sun. Izoni is not very good. Harpooners are awesome. I like the shell of our deck. Now it comes down to taking out random stuff that might not be as good. Fine Broker's a little slow. Vraska kills stuff. Golgari Raiders is kind of unnecessary. Removal's great. I like one at least. Scavenger seems really bad. Plaguecrafter also doesn't seem very good. Sacrificing one creature isn't very good. We need to kill that key creature. Now it comes down to... we have all the removal possible in here. Molder Hulk is good, and it's what the deck is all about. But against Mono Blue, you really adjust your game plan based on the fact that all you have to do is deal with their creatures and you win. You know, I mean, it isn't down to, like, you need something to follow up to pressure them. It's like, no, you win. If you deal with their creatures, you win. So maybe these are unnecessary altogether. And these are just a little bit better. I mean, gaining an absurd amount of life seems better than just, you know, interacting the combo. You know, getting this back with Memorial, getting another one back, getting a Memorial, you know, is great against decks that grind you out, but all we need to do is gain some life, so I think this will be fine. All right, we are on the draw. Seems fine. We got the Harpooner, or as our test team would call it, the Poondoggler. Okay, that's great. We got a target. Now we just hope it works. I don't know if in my life I've ever been lucky enough to kill a flyer besides a hawk. Okay. Spell Pierce is off the table. Could have Dive Down to save this. Otherwise, we're getting a free... whenever you think 2 mana, 3/2, reach, destroy target creature, that's pretty powerful. I guess we do need a forest here. Boom. Nope. Alright, well, not too great. Kind of thought that was an overgrown tomb. Still don't think that's a mulligan, especially on the draw, but yeah, not much we could really do. Alright. So now we're going to have to harpoon this first and then try to kill this. But yeah, the name of the game is just going to be try to kill creatures. Try to make our land drops here, which... okay, that's fine. We'll give this a shot. Alright. We would like to fight. Do you have an answer? Okay. We could be in trouble here. We could definitely be in trouble. A land would be great to just start casting these 4-mana removal spells on this and just, you know, eventually get one to stick. But yeah, we could definitely be in trouble. Our worst play is Shaman. Hope to hit 2 targets and Necrotic Wound. That's not a very good play, though. That's why I say worst, because I don't, you know, fully want to commit to that play. Yeah, that doesn't matter at all. Okay. Harpooner. Well, I think we pretty much have to just try the same play here. Do a Harpooner. And if this gets countered, we get to still kill the Storm Tainer with the Necrotic Wound, which is pretty big. Okay. Now we're going to kill this because this effectively counters any of our 4-mana spells. And we'll get the beats going. Now we still need a land, but once we get a land, it's just more than likely try to contempt during their turn, and then, yeah, especially with an onboard counterspell. Alright. Drawing 2 cards a turn gives you quite an advantage, believe it or not. Land. Yes. Okay. So now, Chupacabra is bad right now because our opponent has 2 mana free and is ready and waiting for that. Now, having a contempt, is it better to do during upkeep or during combat? That I'm not positive of. No matter what, it's getting countered because our opponent has an onboard trick. So we'd rather they have to use that than draw a dive down. So, yeah, we'll go for it. Upkeep to minimize the amount of draws our opponents could have. Okay. That's unfortunate. If our opponent doesn't have a land, this would be great. No land, no land, no land, no land. Now we're starting to run out of turns. Yep. I do not like our chances here. This gets to counter the ability as well. At least we get 1 power off the board that we can't block. That does increase our clock. Does give us an extra turn, so that's not nothing. Now the odds that our Chupacabra is resolving next turn, not very good. I really hope our opponent keeps this in, because we kind of change our deck to not care about that kind of stuff too much. Now if our opponent plays like a Tempest Djinn or something, it's really rough because we have to try to kill that, and then this will inevitably kill us. So our opponent could either play a couple big threats, and that prevents us from winning the game with a Chupacabra, or just have a single Essence Scatter and we're good. Or it could have both and we're really in trouble. Alright, so I think we're going to go with the Chupacabra. It's our only option, otherwise we just die. Have to kill the Djinn. We can block it. We can chump block it, but that doesn't seem very good. Okay. So we attack for 5. Our opponent's down to 6, so we are presenting lethal faster than our opponent now. So that is a nice thing. Now our opponent has to react to us instead of us constantly having to react to them. I'm surprised our opponent didn't opt first to try to find a dive down. It's a little interesting to me. Okay, so we're dead to a couple things. We're not dead to a Diamond Mare. But that does keep our opponent alive and force us to have to win with this. Okay. Don't have another one. Alright, we're live. Yeah, with that being the case, drawing 3 cards, I guess we can try to Chupacabra the Diamond Mare and go for the win. Our opponent could just have an opt to prevent that, though. I think we'll still go for the Herald. Alrighty. Yep, we're just going for it. Let it get counter and we'll move on to game 3. Okie dokie. That's enough for me. Alright. So our opponent brought in Diamond Mare and the Gravestone, which is just hints to me that they're really trying to react to us. Midnight Reapers could just be bad altogether. Our opponent's never killing our stuff, so it's a 3-mana 3/2. Scavengers at least gain a little bit of life, and Brontodons at least destroy an enchantment or two, destroy Curious Obsession. I don't think any of them are particularly great. This is another removal spell, though. And Playcrafter is the same. When we're being aggressive, being the one that attacks mono blue usually wins. So I think Scavengers are better than Brontodons just for the fact that they gain life and they attack for more damage. So we'll give this a shot. Now we're just trying to be aggressive. We would love to play first. Okay, mulligan. We can keep this. Now the question is which land to play first. If we decide to keep this, which I think we should, then if we play the Stitcher Supplier, it would mill it, so that's not what we would want to do, but I do think we want this. So we're just going to play the Memorial first. And now we have the option of taking 2 if we do get a couple of creatures to be able to kill something our opponent would play. So we're going to try this first. See what we get. All I see from Opt is food for the Scavengers. 1 creature. Not ideal. We can't really kill anything with Necrotic Wound here. Or nothing of substantial value. So we're just going to play this and say go. Don't like that. Okay, we're going to attack. I do like that top deck because we don't want to just throw a 3-drop into an Essence Scatter right now, but this Shaman is not that great, so I think we're fine throwing this here. Probably is still priced in to counter this. Interesting. Okay. Do we want a forest? No, but our Necrotic Wound is now -3, -3. So we got a 1-mana Nameless inversion here. Tempest Dijin's annoying right now just because we don't have 4, but it's definitely not the end of the world. Okay. Well, we're still going to attack, no fear. Our opponent could easily just take this. Okay, well, I think we are priced into Necrotic Wound now. Okay, we'll play this. We'll say go. So now we got a lot of action, but it's kind of slow aggression. We can, you know, cast Scavenger, Scavenger, and then start returning stuff. But that Dijin is not good news for us. I think we're just going to play the creature. Scavenger. At least that can attack into a Dijin. I think we might want to gain life here. I know it's taking away from our creature count, but we're not going to bring back a Rex Sage. I highly doubt. We'd rather bring back the Chupacabra. So we're just going to say go here. Don't like that. Our opponent can get in for some damage. Six cards is a lot. Okay. Yeah, at least we can play double creature here. That's pretty good. We are going to attack. Take an opt. We're all about damage at this point. Yes, please. Alright, we're going to play another Shaman here. Really just trying to be the most aggressive we can. And we're baiting this as the first counterspell. Mono Blue often just has to counter whatever gets cast. And then it leaves the door open for better creatures here. We're going to exile that exact creature to gain a little life. And now, just like that, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, we're presenting lethal. Now, every turn has to be prevented from our opponent losing the game. And with an attack from Tempest Jin, kind of indicates that our opponent has no problem doing such a thing. And now we can start bringing back stuff with Memorial, but nothing we can really cast. Unless we top deck a land, we can cast a Shaman. Sleep. Okay. Ooh, Contempt off the top was huge. That was game winning. That was game winning. I will call my shot right there, calling that the win. Now our opponent has to find a way to get aggressive while controlling a board. Something Mono Blue just can't do. That was luck. We got lucky. Alright. Chart a course. All fine. That was a lucky draw. Better than lucky than good sometimes, right? Alrighty. Can only Merfolk Trickster us. We are going to go to combat. See what happens. All of them coming in. We just want these bigger. We're going to eat non-creatures. Nom 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 nom. Those are much better than Brontodons so far. I'm glad we chose them over Brontes. 8, 9. That's 9. That's a-okay. Alright, so now I think we're just going to play Branch Walker. If we draw land, we can return something. If not, it's okay. Do we want a Branch Walker? No, not in particularly. Get rid of that. F6. F6 to victory, I hope. Okay. You need a sleep. But Curious Obsession's a scary card, you know. If our opponent draws sleep off this or already had it, our opponent gets 2 extra draws, you know, a lot of things can happen. Either way, I would definitely pick our side right at the moment. Alright. And that'll do it. That was close. That was a lot closer than I thought this would be. Stay tuned for round 2. Alright, round 2 action coming at you. Okay, so this hand seems fine. You know, we have a turn 1 Graveyard Enabler. Midnight Reaper's a phenomenal card. Removal plus Molder Hulk. I think this hand is as ideal as you can really hope for. We're on the draw. Okay, 4s go. Alright, we're going to take the 2. We're going to play the Supplier. Yes, please. Alright, 2 creatures and a Memorial. That's very good. Very good. Alright. Green-black, probably Golgari. Probably not our style of green-black. I don't think I'm going to just throw it into combat yet. We'll just go land tapped past the turn. That's something we're going to want to get a little bit more value out of. Because it would be very unlikely we could cast Molder Hulk next turn. But if we play Midnight Reaper and then block with it, you know, that's quite a few cards. Plus we're getting value. Okay. So that's pretty scary. It's definitely scary. We're going to go Midnight Reaper and pass the turn. Hope to avoid a Jade Light. Branch Walker would also be bad, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. No attacks. Okay. Interesting. Well, so we could just throw the Supplier in or the Midnight Reaper. If the Supplier dies, that's 3 creatures. So this would cost 6. So we would have to hit 2 out of 3 creatures to be able to play Molder Hulk. That might be worth it. That definitely could be worth it. Yeah, I think we'll get on in there. I don't think we want to get in there with Midnight Reaper quite yet. Yeah, I expect that to be a free damage there. Alright, so we're going to just play a Chupacabra and send it back. Oh, that was a poor play. I could have did that. Well, okay, so I could have did that pre-combat and then attacked with Midnight Reaper to push through more damage. Or I could have just did the supplier attack and do what I did. Probably better to play Chupacabra pre-combat now that I think about it. Because now we probably have a Vivian Reed, yep. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can get through if we can find a way to get a creature in a graveyard here to kill that creature. Ooh, that'll do. That's very good. A Planeswalker plus this? Yes, please. Alright, we'll destroy this. We're just going to put this to play tapped. I see no real reason to need to give something -2, -2. Plus, we're disclosing information about our hand. We'll attack Vivian there. Get that out of there. And now we can Vraska for some serious value here with Stitcher Supplier here. We can draw a card, gain a life thanks to the ability, put 3 cards into the graveyard, and draw a card off Midnight Reaper. Could see like a finality here. We get to draw 3 cards. Or Carnage Tyrant. That makes more sense. Okay. I think we're just going to sacrifice this right away. Get rid of this. Draw a card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this costs 4. Which is just enough. And then we can get back the Memorial. That seems to be the correct play to me. Yeah, this should cost 4. Now, getting Playcrafter back to deal with that Carnage Tyrant also seems quite good, but we wouldn't be able to cast it right away. I do really want to land here. I think it just has to be Molder Hulk. And nothing we can play for 2, so we'll just get a Memorial. And then we will pass it back. If our opponent deals with Molder Hulk, though, we are in a bit of trouble with this Carney T. So I don't like that, but not much we could do here. Yeah, Chupacabra is good. Okay, we at least get to draw a card. Unfortunately, we cannot block that Carnage Tyrant. We're just going to have to let that die. Not that big of a deal since we do plan on playing the Immortal Sun. Yeah, no blocks. And we'll hope this Immortal Sun will just allow us to do some crazy stuff. Alright. That's A-okay. Alright, we'll move to end step. I think we're going to... Our opponent keeps something. Kept a Chupacabra. Okay. Chupacabra is probably pretty good. We're going to get rid of this. We are going to play... Oh, that was a great draw because we can actually play that. 3, 4, 5, 6. Play the Immortal Sun. Play Branchwalker. I'm so used to dragging it up from playing on Arena. Okay, we will explore. Gonna get on in there for 7 while we can. We're not that afraid of Carnage Tyrant yet. I think we would be more suited racing since we have this to gain a bunch of life. So for now, I think we're in a winning position, so we're gonna play the aggressor. Yep. Chupacabra, killing this. We'll draw a card. Take 9. Yep. That's a-okay. We're going to do a lot of life gain in here. We don't want to see exactly Assassin's Trophy, but alright, our opponent is handless now. Alright, draw 2 cards. Okay, so we're going to play this. Now we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. This costs 4. And these each cost 2, so we could... My initial thought is we could play all these if we wanted. Getting 2 Midnight Reapers in play is a little risky right now. I think maybe we'll get aggressive first. See what our opponent wants to block. We're cool with that. I think we should eat that from the graveyard so our opponent can't get it back. So if we eat it, we could play the Shaman to get cards in the graveyard, eat that, and play the Forager. I think that seems the best. That gains us the most amount of life. Yeah, we're going to do that. Okay, Shaman to start. 3 cards. Put a land on top. No thanks. We're going to do the Scavenger. Eat that Chupacabra. Yes. And then this card that's barely good enough for limited. Alright, gain 8 life. Yeah, that's going to be brutal. That's going to be brutal. That's a concede. This deck is sweet. This deck is so sweet. Why didn't I figure out about this sooner? Alright, I mean, it did great work here, but I don't think it's particularly the matchup you want it for. I assume that it's definitely best against Boros, Mono Red, stuff along that lines. Eldritch Reborn seems pretty good. Contempt seems good. Trophy's pretty good against Golgari. Just ways to interact with Vivian Reed is probably the most important thing. I like Fine Broker for value. Carnage Tyrant lives through finality, so that's probably good enough. That's one reason why we don't really want Izoni. I like all these fun ofs. Golgari Raiders is not very good. Plaguecrafter usually isn't very good, but it's pretty good after those finality turns. Scavenger is also not very good. Harpooner is very bad. I kind of like this. We could add another wound if we want, but I don't think the card is insanely good. I would rather... I don't know, I think this seems fine. I think this all seems fine the way it is. On the draw, I'm kind of considering a bit more removal here. Like, I like Cast Down against Wild Growth Walker. Alright, I think we'll run it like that. 1 Fine Broker should be enough. This deck, you can't really over sideboard. It's a fine oiled machine here. Okay, this hand is fine. Lead up to the Immortal Sun. Alright. Start building our graveyard up. All right. Nothing too exciting on that hit. Wild Growth Waka. Nope. All right. I think we're going to do a Shaman here. We want to be able to attack through this, and Shaman for sure does that. But Branchwalker finds us stuff. Yeah, we'll do the Shaman. We don't want to land yet. Hit 3 spells, not ideal. All right. We're really just hoping this goes unanswered, and then we can probably easily win the game off. This card is just so good against Golgari if they don't have either Thrashing Brontodon or Assassin's Trophy. Those are the big ones. Okay, Jade Light. Land Llanowar. Getting rid of that. Well, we get to attack with Shaman here. So we're going to do that right away. Hiya! Okay, goes for the block. Alright, I think we'll just play another one here. Alright, do we want a memorial back? Nope. Because we already got one. We'll pass the turn. Yeah, if our opponent goes Vivian Reed here, we're a little scared. That's just a little too good right now. Yep, we'll try to attack it. But it's not probably going to be good enough. Midnight Reaper to the hand. Alright. We're going to play a Branchwalker. Play the Memorial. Attack Vivian. Hopefully we can throw all our creatures at Vivian to just kill it next turn. Still don't have a Molder Hulk, which is a bummer. We'd be getting close to the territory where we could cast it off one of these memorials. I think turn 6 is the soonest you could cast it if it's in your graveyard. Okay. Wild Growth. And a Branchwalker. Revealing another Midnight Reaper. That one our opponent does not want. And we can't push through any damage to Vivian. We have to hope the Immortal Sun will do it. Molder Hulk's good. 1, 2, 3, 4. It costs 9. Oh, sweet. We can just barely cast it. Yeah, I think we're just going to cast it and just say go. Get a Memorial back. And hope the Immortal Sun gets the job done for us next turn. Immortal Sun. Immortal Sun. Alright. Another Wild Growth Walker. So our opponent's going to start doing some crazy stuff. We do have a 7/7. Or will have a 7/7 next turn. This is a card that doesn't get Chupacabra very easily. It just keeps coming back and keeps coming back, keeps coming back. So our opponent can't really attack, and we get to kind of free attack into it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to attack it right away. We're going to attack it with attack Vivian Reed. See if our opponent wants to fight over it. Likely they will. Contempt. I don't like that. Oh, this exiles it as well. Dang. Okay. Yep, we'll have to let that die then. Well, we know our opponent has just a Midnight Reaper in hand. We got to hope this works, I think. We'll play a Swamp here, just in case. Now we can kind of start going nuts with Memorials, though, bringing back just a bunch of cards. Not Brontodon. Yay! Yay! Oh, do we want to deal with something here? Probably. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Let's get rid of one of these. Don't want them all to get too big. Necrotic Wound. Exile that. That removal really is great in this deck. Okay, so a Swamp and a Carnage Tyrant, I'm guessing staying on top. It doesn't really do anything if our opponent doesn't have a way to deal with the Immortal Sun. So if our opponent bins it, we know our opponent does not have an answer to the Immortal Sun. So it's kept on top. That could mean either or. Carnage Tyrant is still just good on this board. But the Immortal Sun, no, no. Okay, hooray! I believe our opponent did not play that swamp yet. Has not cast a land this turn. Okay, yep, we'll block here. Look for another Molder Hulk. Thank you for that. Okay, so we know 2 cards in our opponent's hand. Yes, please. Yes, please. Okay, so now what do we want back? Probably Chupacabra to deal with Midnight Reaper here. That card gets annoying. So, yeah, we can Molder Hulk. How much does this cost? So it only costs the 2. So I think the play is play it, hold priority. Yeah. Okay, hold priority because we don't have another one of these in the graveyard. So that's going to cost 3, so we can only cost something that costs 2 or 3. I think we'll get back Chupacabra anyways. All right, just doing this so we can get back Memorial. And then we'll just play another Memorial and we'll pass it back. We're going to take this slow and steady. Oh, we only got 1 Molder Hulk left. That's unfortunate. Okay, attack for 3, attacking for that. Gonna block Midnight Reaper here. Card's too good. Okay. Draw an extra card. Alright, now we're cooking. So, creatures we want to bring back. There's not a bunch of them. This is the main one. Chupacabra costs 3. Midnight Reaper costs 2. So if we pay 2 life, we can cast everything in our hand and get this back, which seems pretty good. I think we'll start with the Midnight Reaper. Don't want to tap that. Oh, we have 1 floating here. Forgot about that. 3. Chupacabra. Get rid of that. We will attack. I think we're going to attack Vivian Reed anyways here. We get to draw a card, plus get a creature out of the way. Our opponent might value keeping it around. just going to let it go. That's a little insurance policy in case our opponent does find an Assassin's Trophy. All right, and then we'll play this Fine Broker. All right, and I think we're going to get back this, gain a little bit of life. And we'll pass it back. Good luck. Good luck, Golgari player. The Immortal Sun is so good. When it goes unchecked, it just wins the game. 6, Carnage Tyrant. Yep. With 2 mana open. Alright, draw an extra card. Yes, please. Ooh, our own Carnage Tyrant. So that costs 5. So we can play them both. I don't see any reason to not. Any reason we would want to attack first? I don't think so. So yeah, we'll play this. Gain some life. Play our own dinosaur. Oh yeah, next turn we'll let the beats begin. Carnage Tyrant still trade, but ours comes back 4 times. We might just attack with everything next turn. Our opponent is at 31. I think there's only there's no reason to not just play and make the proper attacks, you know. Yeah, there's just no way out of it. Golgari really has a tough time beating this Golgari deck. It just has so much synergies, and Molder Hulk has to be contented. And even our opponent did that twice, but didn't have the answer for the Immortal Sun. You just can't have the answer for all of it. And I treat this deck more as a toolbox deck where, you know, instead of having... you're able to search your library for these separate tools. You put your toolbox into the graveyard, and then you select what you want from there. Really maximizing Memorial Folly, and I think this deck's insane. I'm kind of bummed I learned about it so late. Maybe we could have played this at a tournament. Stay tuned for the 3rd and 5th. Round 3 time. Okay, we won the die roll, so I would love to play first. All right. This seems good. You know, a little better if this was a swamp to be able to play something right away, but I think this is fine. This hand does have a fail rate, you know, of not being able to find a 3rd land off Branchwalker or my draw steps. Pretty low percentage of a fail rate, though. And even if we'd still have some stuff to play, but... all right. Branchwalker. Midnight Reaper. Do we want another one? Probably not. Nah. We can get it back in so many ways, and we already have one. Forest. Regular Golgari. Who knows? Llanowar Elves. That's a sign of regular Golgari. We might be able to do some Golgari beatdowns again. Alright, we'll play the Midnight Reaper and get busy. Get busy living or get busy dying. In our case, both. Yes, please. I'll take a card. Midnight Reaper is so good. It's unreal. Its stats are already great. 3 for a 3/2 is completely reasonable. And that ability is just so good. Okay. Cool with all that stuff. Alright. Well, that's a bit of a bummer. We can only play 1 spell here. Yep, I think we'll play this. And if we find a swamp, we're actually going to take it with the Shaman. Swamp. Yep, I think we want it. Hiya! So, one huge thing to note here, I set up this play. I mean, our choices weren't very big last turn, right? Playing Stitcher, Supplier, or Shaman. But even if I could have played, you know, Chupacabra, I wouldn't have. Just because I wanted to protect against Vivian Reed. If our opponent played Vivian Reed, we have 6 power. I guess if we did play Chupacabra, they wouldn't have the mana to play Vivian Reed, but you get what I'm saying, is you always want to make sure you can pressure the powerful Planeswalkers in people's decks, because that's how control decks, or that's just how any Magic deck gets out of hand, right? I mean, Planeswalkers are too good. Okay, what do we want to kill? I'd like to avoid... Okay, so kept a Jade Light on top. Reasonable. I would like to avoid Carnage Tyrant hitting the board next turn. I'm just not quite ready for it. I'll be ready for it soon enough, but we'll get a Shaman in there. Hiya! Okay. Think we're just going to Chupacabra... I think we're just going to Chupacabra Llanowar here. We don't really care about those other creatures right now. They're just dorks. Alright. There's Vivian. Yeah, Vivian's a little scary right now. Okay. Well, if we attack with everything at Vivian, blocks would be Branchwalker here, Squire here. I don't like that. But I do like attacking with the other two. Drawing 2 cards. Only one. Izoni. That might not be the best, since we could definitely have a fine finality in our future here. With that being the case, I almost want to fine broker back Golgari Raiders. I think that seems pretty good. Well, first we'll cast this, because we're going to do that anyways. Okay. Now we're going to take 2. And now we're really hedging against this finality play. We'll be able to do some damage with our Golgari Raiders. Played Golgari Raiders in my actual Golgari deck at the PT. It wasn't good. I never cast it. Okay, so our opponent has Jade Light, Branchwalker, and Llanowar, along with other cards. Guessing a finality. Yep. I'm really glad we did that Golgari Raiders play. 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could Izoni here. Or we could Golgari Raiders. Raiders is probably pretty good. Get this 4 or 5 out of the way. Golgari Raiders. Oops. Should have played the Stitcher Supplier first. We'll attack here. Force the blocks. And now we'll play the Supplier. Land, and we'll say go. Alright, so we have Izoni as a backup here. If our opponent has a Chupacabra. Wildgrowth Walker. Okay, maybe it doesn't have it. Wildgrowth Walker. Jade Light. Gonna keep that Vraska there. Big old Vraska. Alright, well. Our opponent's doing some stuff. Not a bad draw. Not a bad draw at all. We still don't have... No. Okay, well, we're going to attack. 7, 8. Still can't kill Golgari Raiders, so our opponent's going to have to chump block. A-okay. Izoni time. Missing 1 land to be able to sack something, which is kind of a bummer. Hello. Hello, army of tokens. So we know 2 of the cards. Now we're just on Planeswalker killing duty. Once we can kill those, we can figure out a new game plan, but for now, we just have to kill them. Alright, so probably a big Vraska here to deal with Golgari Raiders. Maybe just makes a token. Nope, okay. Oh, killed Izoni. Reasonable. We're still going to kill some Planeswalkers. We'll throw insects at them. Chupacabra. I like Chupacabring this. And then we can just Memorial back. Fine Broker. More than likely just Izoni. But for now, yeah, this was actually a really great draw. It worked out quite well. We did have one in the graveyard, so we could have done this play regardless. All right. So we'll kill that. All right, so we need to put 8 tokens to deal Vivian Reed. 8 tokens to Vivian. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, can we kill our opponent? Probably not, but probably something we should attack. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we need 5 tokens here at Vraska to kill it. Oh, perfect. These numbers work out absolutely perfect. Vraska, 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 you. 10 coming at you. Alright, your Planeswalkers are dead. You can eat a couple insects, sure. Take 10. Alright, so our opponent did get another Vivian Reed or scried it. Okay, looks like I didn't pay attention to that. Reveals Vivian Reed. Okay, so Vivian Reed's on top. Vraska's gone. I think I kept track of this right. That is our opponent's hand, but I could be easily mistaken here. Golgari Raiders is doing some damage. This is awesome. Okay, game 1, us. I think this has got to be a good matchup. I mean, it just makes sense. All right, Poondoggler we don't need. Scavengers are pretty bad. I like all these one fun-ofs. Assassin's Trophy to deal with Planeswalkers. Seems pretty good. I like Eldest Reborn. I like our own Carney Tees. They're just better than theirs. On the draw, I want to be able to kill. Yeah, I think this is exactly what we did last round. And I like it. I took out the Golgari Raiders last time. It might still be correct, but, you know, having that silver bullet in our graveyard, I think, is too important than just adding a way to deal with a Vraska or something. Yeah, the main thing I'm thinking of now is, are Contempts worth it? And I don't know. This on the draw is a little bad, but still can be good. Yeah, we'll run it. Cast Down's only good on the draw to make sure Wild Growth Walkers don't get carried away, so we'll take that out on the play if we lose. This hand's a little weak. Sounds pretty slow. Pretty bad. Doesn't really do anything. I think this has to be an aggressive mulligan here. And we have land, so, you know, we'd be able to cast our spells, but I just don't think it does enough. This is much better. We don't want that yet. No, not a land more. Okay, that was a great draw. Anything to play on 2 is what we wanted. And I think more than likely we'd probably put a land on top, but maybe not. Alright, 2 lands. Detection Tower, interesting. Okay. Alright, so we'll play the Shaman. We might get a land, who knows? No option. Ooh, and our sun is gone. Oh well, there's ways to get it back. I don't like doing that yet. I would rather have Midnight Reaper on the board and then do some blocking. Yep. Cardinal T probably staying right there. Okay, yeah, now it's all about building a board that has the power to deal with the Carnage Tyrant, because that will be a scary reality come very soon. Yeah, so more than likely we're going to have to Chupacabra Llanowar next turn just to make sure our opponent can't play Carnage Tyrant, but dang. Okay, well, if our opponent gets aggressive and attacks with anything, yeah, we were going to be able to do some damage, but it was a good play on their part. Ugh. I don't love that. I don't love that at all. I think I just have to attack with Shaman just to draw a card. I could see a world in Chupacabra-ing this and attacking. Doesn't seem good. I do not want a Carnage Tyrant landing next turn, but I just don't think I have an option here. Chupacabra-ing the Llanowar Elf seems quite bad right now. But all my options are pretty bad. Our opponent had a really good draw. Well, I think step one is drawing some cards. Yep, kind of hope that our opponent blocks with both so we can draw 2 cards. Maybe we just Necrotic Wound here. That doesn't seem very good. Okay, we'll let that happen. Chupacabras for days. Alright. We'll hope maybe we can kill Vivian Reed. Now we're going to get rid of Llanowar. No Carnage T next turn, at least. Our opponent does have all the tools to cast it, I'm sure. Wild Growth. Okay. If our opponent gets aggressive and attacks, we get to kill Carnage Tyrant, though. That would be sweet. Swamp. Attack. Yes! Yes. That's huge. Little too aggressive there. I mean, our life total is getting close, so, you know, maybe it could be correct. But as it stands right now, we're happy with this play. So we had to get rid of that. Vivian falls. And now we play defense against this Carnage Tyrant that's going to resolve this turn. We're going to have to take that. Defense. Defense. Carnage Tyrant defense. Well, if we Chupacabra this, then we have 4 blockers to throw in front. And even if our opponent kills 1, we can still trade. Seems like the thing to do, and then we'll hope to use this to gain some life to get us back in the game after that all happens. Alright, your turn. Hope we don't have a finality. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. No! Okay. Take 5. Alright, Eldest Reborn, please. Boom. Nope, that's not going to do it, but that could be kind of decent. Get some more cards in our graveyard. So still nothing really relevant we can bring back. So we'll just play this and see how much it gains us. Hopefully at least puts us over the threshold. Okay, exactly. We can take 1 hit from Carnage Tyrant now. We're still going to block like this, though. So we want more stuff in our graveyard. We need a Molder Hulk, I think. That's not a Molder Hulk. Okay. No, so close. That needed to be their last turn. So we can bring back a 2-drop. Does any 2-drop save us? I highly doubt it. Branch Walker. Game 3. Our opponent had a great draw. Nothing we could really do. Our opponent was just one turn ahead of us multiple times. Alright, no cast down. Necrotic Wound is much better, even though it's still not very good on the play. I like Fine Broker. Contempts are good. Maybe they're just needed. Maybe Izoni is not very good. Playing into Fine Finality is not my biggest thing to strive for. We'll get rid of one Fine Broker too. Okay. Game 3. Final round of this week's Droppin Bombs. Hype. Let's get the 3-0. I don't think we 3-0'd last week. No, I don't think we did. So it's about time. And new standard spoilers are coming out. I hope you're all as excited as I am for some new standard brews. I've been cooking up some ideas already, even with the limited amount that we have. Ew. Sounds not playable. Or is it? We have the best card. We could get something. On the play is the only thing that tempts me, just because if we draw into some early stuff, this hand is great, and our deck is full of early stuff. I'm going to keep it. This is a risky one. Could easily go south for us. Alright, we're going to do nothing for a while. Shaman off the top. Or a forest. Alright, we can cast the Immortal Sun. Okay. Midnight Reaper off the top. We love it. Now we're actually going to very happily just block and, you know, let this thing die. We'll attack aggressively. Air that. Okay, perfect. Ooh, now we got options. So another Midnight Reaper or a Shaman. I think just Midnight Reaper to be mana efficient right now, because Shaman could hit 3 cards. Could make this at best cost 5. So yeah, we'll just get the Midnight Reaper going. I might even happily block. Not positive. This could just be another Chupacabra. Midnight Reaper. Ooh. Ooh, now I'm not going to block. So our opponent didn't play a land yet, so might be stuck. Yep. So now we got to be very wary about... Ooh. Ooh, that could be good. We could get this out of here. Oh, we got options now. We'll see how this works. A lot of creatures, please. Ooh. Only 2. That is enough. No, we don't want lands. So now it's where do we want to aim this Necrotic Wound? And I think we just want to wait and say go and get the block in where we would get a favorable trade. Or there's some thought to just killing Llanowar Elves. I think it's better to just get rid of Midnight Reaper. But maybe it's just best to just do that and then attack. So we got options here. You could just get rid of Wound now, or get rid of Reaper now. Attack for 3. That's a fine play. Or we could be a little bit more greedy and wait for our opponent to attack with Chupacabra, block with Shaman, and then Necrotic Wound the Reaper, and we would get a card out of the deal. But then let's say our opponent slams Vivian Reed, we can't pressure it back. So I think we're just going to... Necrotic Wound here. And it does exile, which is a huge factor. And next turn we have the one and only Immortal Sun. Wild Growth Walker, sure. Woodland Cemetery, cast and played. So 6, 7, 8. We still can't actually cast Molder Hulk. So we are going to cast the Immortal Sun. And I think we're just going to get in there with both while we can here. So this is probably going to die realistically. Sure. Yep. Kill those. Get to draw a card. Alright, Carney T. A little bit of a backup plan. So we can Molder Hulk back. Ooh, that's not good. We don't like that. So now we got the option, Carney T or Molder Hulk, and I think the Carney T plan right now is just a little bit better. We'll see if our opponent wants to get froggy and block here. Makes sense. How cheap is this? 6. That's not very cheap. Carnage Tyrant it is. Tyrant. Memorial. And now we do have the option next turn of memorialing back a Reaper and playing that, which is a fine play. Especially if we're going to be attacking in with our Carnage Tyrant. Ooh. So we definitely want to kill this Wild Growth Walker while we still can. So if Carnage Tyrant dies, then it will cost 1, 2, 3, 4 less. So it would cost 5. Yeah, then we could get back an untap land and then memorial back the Carnage Tyrant. That seems good. I like getting back Carnage Tyrants. And we really just got to get rid of this Wild Growth Walker at this point. Ooh, getting froggy. 5, 6. That's a risky attack. But we'll let it happen. It all works. Okay, so Molder Hulk. Get back Forest. Then we will activate Memorial to get back Carney T. Opponent is running out of cards, but still has that annoying card. We do get a free attack as it stands now because our opponent would have to block Molder Hulk. So now we're looking for a Chupacabra. We got a lot of outs here. We're still going to bring back Carnage Tyrant. Yeah, and we got to do it now with that Scavenger. Alright, Carney T, come back. Okay. Untap. We'll take our free attack at Vivian here to put it down 3. Hiya. Okay, and we can only play Carnage. We can't use Memorial as well. That is what we'll do. Play a Memorial and we'll say go. So now it looks like we're really going to want to get a Midnight Reaper here. First, I mean, step 1 we're in again is kill Vivian. That is step 1. All right. Scavenger. Doesn't really matter what they hit since we have 2 Midnight Reapers. We're going to get one of them back. All right, there's the 2 cards we know about. Alrighty. Now it's time to pressure. Midnight Reaper, kind of exactly what we wanted. Going to play this pre-combat. And then we are going to attack everything at Vivian. Yeah, we kind of have to. Right? Because if we block here, and these 2 could block here, that would be 3, so 4. No, our opponent could chump here, though. Yep, so we have to. Not even positive we can for sure kill this thing. Chump here, block there. Yeah, just gonna let it die, I assume. Alright. Branchwalker. I think we're just going to cast that. We could cast another Midnight Reaper off a Memorial. Which I don't really like. Yeah, we're just going to cast this. We'll play this. And then we'll say go. More than likely just memorialing whatever our opponent targets, as long as it's a creature. Yep. And yeah, it's just the writing's on the wall. This deck just has so much inevitability. Normal Golgari cannot just win by just finalitying and just Carnage Tyranting. You know, we just do more. And it's, I don't know, that's interesting. If this deck consistently beats the best deck in the format, and, you know, honestly, probably has a pretty good matchup against Jeskai when you have 4 Midnight Reapers. This deck could be the real deal, and I think we proved it today. I want to thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the Deck Tech. And welcome to the Deck Tech, everybody. Woo! Those were some games. I love this deck. I absolutely love this deck. When you can beat traditional Golgari, like, I feel kind of with ease. Like, I don't know, we have 4 Chupacabras. Wild Growth Walkers don't get out of hand, you know? I mean, Necrotic Wounds can exile their Midnight Reapers. Their Carnage Tyrants can get out of hand a little bit, but Mulder Hulk lines up very well against Carnage Tyrants. Like, I think this deck is well positioned right now, and it's just a great deck. Yeah, so let's talk about the specific cards here. Suppliers and Shaman are really your toolbox cards. This is what the deck needs to function. Otherwise, you're just a horrendously bad Golgari deck if you don't have these ways to fill up your graveyard. But if you can get those, it's great. A couple Harpooners, not impressed with this card. I could see that being something else. Necrotic Wound is something I am impressed with. This card is phenomenal, and it's obviously insane in this deck. But then you have Branchwalkers, you know, one of the better 2-drops in the format. Midnight Reaper is just a card that has just been insanely impressing me. This is a card that people, I don't know if the mentality is wrong, but everybody kills it immediately, even if it's not a Lava Coil type effect, and you just get your value immediately off the card. It's just so good. It's almost always 3 mana, 3/2, draw a card, deal damage. You'd play that card, right? Except this card has a higher upside. The one-of choices here, I love Fine Broker to kind of, you know, get that inevitability going. Vraska Queen, Golgari Raiders to have that giant one-time push after maybe, like, let's say a Star of Extinction or something like that. This card is great. Being able to gain you a bunch of life late. Izoni, obviously powerful. And the Immortal Sun as your fun one-ofs here, your fun-ofs. And then Mulder Hulk is the deck. This is a green-black Mulder Hulk deck, and it does not disappoint. The sideboard here, a bunch of wild stuff here. Being able to have some removal for Planeswalkers. This is great against aggro when you fill your graveyard so fast. Gaining something like 8 life at a time against mono red or something, like, good luck. Carnage Tyrant here, a good one-of. When it's good, it's good. The Eldritch Reborn, when you have to deal with their Carnage Tyrants, basically. Also good against control. Necrotic Wounds, phenomenal. Anytime it's good. Assassin's Trophy for Golgari mainly. Brontodons, I guess mono blue. Good against Treasure Map, kind of. I don't really understand Brontodon that much here, but I gave it a shot. I copied this list. and I was impressed. I mean, I went 3-0 on camera, and I had 2 matches off camera where I won 2 kind of non-games. Like it was a beating so much that I didn't even want to show you guys. There was nothing to learn from it. There was some mana screw involved, and then there was just my opponent playing mono red, and it was it was just a beating. It was quite fun. Ritual Soot here, another nice random one of. This is a card you can't get back, so this is a traditional one of that, but it also kills most of our creatures in our deck, so I understand why there's not a lot of them. I want to thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you had a great Christmas. I hope you had a great holiday season. We got New Year's coming up here. I hope you guys all enjoy that, bring in 2019 in the right way, in the best way. And, yeah, we got new Magic cards on the horizon here, so be on the lookout. We'll be starting to get some new cards into the Dropping Bombs, and you know me. You know how excited I get when it's new standard Dropping Bomb season. That is my Christmas. Christmas is coming late. I want to thank you so much for watching. As always, I love all of you out there, and we'll see you next week for another Droppin' Bombs.